Okay, everyone. Let me just bring up one more screen for myself. Okay. All right. So most of you know me. I'm Cara. I'm a co-founder of Boston Women's Market. But I also have a pretty extensive background in marketing and sales, specifically for small businesses. So we've never done a workshop necessarily on paid advertising before. So I'm really excited to dive into this tonight. I think this will be a stepping stone to figure out what the community is really interested in as in regards to this topic, specifically on Meta advertising. So Meta is the parent company of Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp and all of those. So based on this, we might go even deeper, specifically for the upcoming holiday season, which is nuts because it's July, but we'll talk about tonight. The holidays are actually something you need to start thinking about if you're doing online sales and you plan on doing some paid advertising on social media. It's something that you're going to have to start thinking about now. And there are a few reasons why, which we're going to go into tonight. So let's see, just a little bit more about myself. I have over 12 years of marketing sales experience, focused on small businesses. So, I always like saying that entrepreneurship is pretty much in my blood. I grew up in a very entrepreneurial family. Everyone has had crazy small businesses, crazy ideas, from dog boarding kennels to water parks. So I grew up in that environment, and it's just a passion of mine. I really feel really fulfilled when I help other people succeed and learn in their small business endeavors. So that's why I'm here, and that's what we're doing today. So one question that I was curious from the group is, what is holding you back, if it is, when it comes to paid advertising in general, or specifically about Facebook and Instagram advertising? And you're welcome to go ahead and unmute yourself, or, turn on your camera, or just put it in the chat. What is it that might be holding you back, or, holding you back from growing, or holding you back from even starting to begin with? If anyone wants to,
I can go. Yeah. Cara, thank you. So when I first launched, Facebook actually reached out to me. Then it was Facebook saying that, they'll give me, quote unquote, an assigned marketing person who can walk me through how paid advertising would work and things like that, right? And they said you could get XYZ amounts of credit back if you spend, some money. Right. So I've tried. I think I spent about close to $100. It's not quite a bit, but a month or two. And I've actually not seen any traction. And I wonder, I think I still have those credits that they gave me, because I've not seen traction as in like page clicks or anything like that, especially when I was quite young, very new into the business.
Yeah. And what year was
That's
this?
been my experience. Sorry?
What year was this in?
Oh, I launched end of September last year.
Oh, so this is very recently. Okay.
Yeah, October, November.
Okay, that's great to know. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else have a similar experience, or can share, Oh, go ahead.
I can add. Hi, this is Chioma, aka Nubian Violet. When I first started, I guess, at the end of 2020 into 2021, I guess I did something similar where they gave me credits to advertise, and I did, and it kind of connected to Instagram as well. I had got a lot of likes on my jewelry. Some very few people actually went over and actually clicked, and maybe I got a couple of random people who bought for me. What I kind of did and follow up, if somebody liked my, jewelry or the pictures, I kind of follow them back, and they'll follow me, and they can kind of keep up to date with what I'm posting. But has it turned into a whole bunch of people buying my stuff or traffic? It might pick up my traffic in my store, but not converting it into sales. So that is, I guess, my disconnect with the advertising. It's great. It does I guess people do kind of see it, especially if you have like eye-catching like videos or pictures, is, you know, trying to convert those sales, I mean, those clicks into sales.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it might be a little disheartening to hear, but, you know, paid advertising on Instagram and Facebook is not the end all be all solution to all your sales streams. You know,
Yeah.
you hear about so many small businesses kind of blowing up because of they explode on Instagram and they go viral, or they explode on social media. And that's not true. But when it comes to spending money on social advertising, a lot of it is a long-term game. A lot of it isn't about those instant gratification sales. Sure, you might get a couple of them, but a lot of them are about that long brand building awareness. And we're going to talk about that today for sure. Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of disheartening to hear, because it's like, well, I'm spending this money. Why am I not getting a return? Well, it might just not be the return in monetary value that you want to see instantly, but it could be a return in something else. So it's kind of one of those pros and cons of the situation, which we can talk about more today.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Anyone else want to share an experience, or maybe what's holding them back before we jump on to some more info? And you're welcome to share later on too, so don't hesitate. Okay. Okay, so we're going to talk about kind of what we were just talking about, were some of those benefits of meta advertising, right? It's highly specific. You can really target your specific audience, and you can learn from metadata and insights who that audience is. I think it could be really easy to assume who your audience is, particularly as you're just getting started. But that data that you might collect from a Facebook ad or Instagram ad will really shine a light on who that audience is. So you can keep fine tweaking it over and over, and your ads can get smarter and smarter. So that's one of the key benefits of doing Facebook advertising, which it makes it really easy, user-friendly to really target that audience. It does increase website traffic. You can create certain ads that are driven to increase website traffic, or you might have a certain ad that is driven to increase email subscriptions. So each of these ads can be highly campaign objective focused, which is a big benefit. So you can really outline before you begin what you want to achieve that goal. Facebook advertising is great for visuals. We all know, we've scrolled through the carousels of Instagram ads, so viewed beautiful products, beautiful imagery, beautiful video now. So that's definitely one of the major benefits of it over something like Google search or Google shopping, which doesn't have the highest of quality, or they could be teeny tiny. You have these big, beautiful images right on your phone or right on your computer. Meta advertising can be used for customer service needs. So if you think about nowadays, when you go to someone's website or when you go to someone's Facebook business page, a little window will pop up that says, "How can I help you?" You can really easily address customer concerns, complaints by taking advantage of their answer automations, their chat and messenger automations, which improves customer service. As I said before, you're going to make those really data-based decisions. So as you start running more and more ads, you're going to see more and more real-time data points about who is clicking, who's viewing, and it'll help you really form that audience that's right for you. Same, and in the same regard, really easy to track and measure. The data is right there on Facebook in your Insights Manager. It's something we're going to be talking about in a little bit. And it actually can be affordable. Now, we all of us sitting here, including Boss Women's Market, we don't have $50,000 a month to throw into paid advertising during December. I wish we did, but that's just not the case. But you don't need $50,000. What you really need to do is start small and start with longevity in mind. I always feel like that's the key to social advertising, is you don't just jump right into it during peak season. You start with a slow game and you work your way up gradually. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit here. Okay, so just some interesting information that came out this year in 2022. directly from Meta about who's using these paid advertising platforms. So there are a total advertising audience of, so 72% of their users are an advertising audience. That's 2.91 billion monthly active users. That's a lot of eyes that have potential to be on your ad. Now, that's not to say that we want all those people with their eyes on our ads. We don't need them. They're not the customer we want, and they're not where we want to put our money. So that's why we're really going to focus and target. But even if we're focusing on targeting down our audience, that's a lot of eyes. 58% of customers say they visit a brand's website from a story ad, and 31 have browsed in the Facebook shop. So I know just a few years ago, I want to go to a restaurant before I looked at Yelp. And now like Yelp is kind of faded. And now I know before I go to a restaurant, I look on their Instagram. I want to see what dishes they're serving. I like literally my boyfriend made a dinner reservation last week for us based on a dessert that he saw they posted on Instagram. And he immediately went and booked a reservation for that week. So real-time stories from your brand really do work. And people are really relying on those stories and those posts for credibility, just like Google Maps or just like Google reviews or just like Yelp reviews. 59% of US adults use Instagram daily, and 38% of those daily visitors are logging multiple times a day. Again, just that reinforcing that there are multiple people multiple times a day using your, with the potential of seeing your brand. One of the things that I found it really interesting was like, TikTok is like all the rage, particularly with Gen Z, but Gen Zs actually use Instagram more than their favorite platform of TikTok. Let me see if I can find the stat. It was, okay, so global internet users ages 16 to 24 prefer Instagram to other social media platforms, even more than TikTok. So whenever someone says to you, oh, you should be really putting all your energy into TikTok, my point of view is you should choose the 1 or 2 social media platforms that you're going to focus on, invest your time and energy on, and do it correctly. Don't try to spread yourself over all of these bazillion social media platforms just because you're supposed to. Find what your audience is responding to and go for that. So for example, if your audience is females 40 to 60, 40 to 60-year-olds prefer Facebook. They just do. They prefer Facebook and they prefer it on their desktops, while millennials prefer Instagram. So you have to think about who your audience is before you're going to figure out where you're going to invest all this time, energy, and money. So just keep that in mind, okay? You don't have to be everything to everyone. Okay, another class question. You're welcome to just put this in the chat, or you can just be like, yes or no. Who has their Facebook business manager set up? Does anyone have their Facebook business manager set up?
I'm not really sure if I have it set up properly. Let me put it that way.
Okay, that is a very good way of putting it. That is okay. And we have a sort of in the chat. And it looks like Kalpan is giving me a thumbs up. So maybe it's I think I do, but I don't really know if it's totally set up.
I have it, but I don't think it's set up well either.
Yeah, okay. So, and I'll totally be honest with you, every time I swear, like every day that I go into our business manager, it gives me a little error message about how something's not set up. I'm like, no, like dismiss, like that's a lie, or but yeah, it's not like the easiest. It can be a little fickle, but it is like step number 1 to making sure that you can move forward successfully with paid advertising. So that was just of interest to me to see how you guys felt about the business manager. I think they're always trying to make improvements to it, and you see tweaks, and it's become a bit more user-friendly, particularly in the past year, which is good. Okay, so here's what I'm getting at. Before you do anything, you need to set up your account properly, okay? So before we even get into talking about creatives for Facebook ads or anything like that, These are the essential things I want you to start doing now. You need to create your Facebook business manager account. All right. Let me open my speaker notes because I'll send these around in an email after too, but I'm going to put them in the chat right here. Are a bunch of links to the things we're about to talk about, okay, and how-tos. So you're going to create your Facebook business manager, which is kind of like your dashboard to manage your business. You're going to add your Facebook business page to your business manager account. Think of your business manager as your account. And then under that, you house your brand page. So for example, for Boston Women's Market, we have our Boston Women's Market business manager account. And then we linked our Facebook business page of Boston Women's Market to our business account. Now, say I was a business that had multiple stores. Maybe I would have my one umbrella as business manager account. And then I'd have 3 separate Facebook business pages for my different shops under one business manager account. So I can manage all those businesses or pages all at once. So that's number 2. You're going to add your Instagram account to your business page account, just like your Facebook business page. You're just going to want to link it. So all data and insights are being acquired, are being recorded properly, and your ads can learn from all these stats. If you're not linking your accounts to your business manager, your ads aren't going to know what to do. Your ads aren't going to learn your audience properly. You're going to miss out on a lot of benefits that the business manager can give you. And then you're going to create and install your Facebook pixel in your e-com site if you can. Majority of the days right now, like Shopify, Squarespace, WooCommerce, Wix, all of those have the ability to copy and paste your Facebook pixel into your e-com. This is an essential step for tracking your ad spends appropriately and tracking traffic and creating really specifically targeted ads. Okay. Looks like we have a question. What's that? Okay. A pixel is a series of numbers. It's a string of numbers that Facebook uses to identify you. So what it is the Boston Women's Market has a pixel, which is like 10 or to 12 numbers. I put that in our website. Then what happens? Someone goes on to bostonwomensmarket.com, searches around, looks at our online shop, and then they go to Facebook. Facebook will be able to say, oh, this person was on Boston Women's Market and they also have this ad running. Let me serve them this ad, because they're linking us with our pixel. And it's tracking, you can kind of call it tracking goals or tracking things people do on your website. It's super creep. Things people do on your website that you can then serve them an ad on. So without your pixel, you're losing a lot of valuable website data, if that makes any sense.
It makes total sense.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to have to figure out how to do that now.
Yeah, totally. So in the chat, I did send you a link to create your pixel from your business manager account. So once you have your business manager account, just go ahead and follow this step that they've outlined. It's super easy. And whatever website platform you have, just do a quick search about Squarespace and adding my Facebook pixel. You'll get a step-by-step.
Okay.
Just make sure you're doing that.
Okay. Question. So I'm in the process of trying to switch from Etsy into like completely everything GoDaddy, because I have like multiple things that I do.
Yeah.
Not just selling jewelry, and it made sense to just put it all on one thing. Is it possible to kind of do that with a GoDaddy site, online store, e-commerce type of thing?
I don't know off the top of my head. I've never built a website with GoDaddy services because I know they have their own native website builder, if I'm correct.
Okay.
But I can't imagine they wouldn't. I would be really, really shocked. So just do a quick search for GoDaddy website and adding your Facebook pixel.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, totally. So once you have that set up, I want you to create your Facebook shop. Now that is when, you're on Instagram and you go to someone's business profile and you can actually shop a catalog of products now. I think that got launched maybe 2 years ago. And this is if possible. Some e-com sites don't yet hook up to Facebook shop, or they don't have the plugin. So GoDaddy might be one of them. I'm not sure. The majority of big players, though, do let you integrate your Facebook shop with your e-com site. If you're just like, oh, that sounds way over my head, that's okay. Just press pause on that step. It's kind of like, I want you to do it. It's good for your business, particularly for sales-driven objectives. But if you're like, let's start with 1 through 4, just start with 1 through 4, okay? So, and the link is in the chat. I sent it above. It's called Create a Pixel from your Business Manager account. So you can go ahead and check that link I sent via the chat. I think I sent it to the waiting room. Let me try it again. Hold on. Let's try this again. Oh, there we go. Okay.
I was going to say, because I was like, I'm not seeing
yeah, I
anything
guess
in
I
the
was like,
chat.
oh, wait, that's all in the waiting room, but you're all not in the waiting room anymore. Okay. So if you have to press pause on number 5, I get it. That's totally cool. And then, as I mentioned before, I want you to start testing and learning now, because it's not you only start to test and learn now, it's your ads that are going to start testing and learning now. They actually go into a discover and learning phase for a very long time before they can actually start delivering to the right people and the right audience for you. So not only do you need time, but your actual ads need time to become smart and efficient. So that's why it's not smart to just launch a Facebook ad on November 31st and expect to get good performance. It's just not. Your ad isn't smart. It doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know who you're supposed to be targeting, how to spend your money. And you're going to just be bombarded and outspent by all these other brands that have been in the long game. So start now, start little, and work your way up. And let's talk about that some more. Looks like we have another chat question. Oh, no, we're good. Okay. Okay, so after you've done these steps, we can actually get on to the ads, like making the ads and defining what you want to accomplish. So before you do anything else, before you think about like what pictures you're going to use or what you're going to write, anything like that, you need to define what your goal is. What are you trying to achieve with this ad? There are so many different things you can achieve, and you want to choose the right objective and the right goal when you're creating these ads to make sure your money's being spent properly and it's targeting the right people that are going to be actually interested in your ad. So a couple objectives or goals might be to increase brand recognition. Now, I'll say, you know, when we were talking early about kind of like the letdown of social media ads, in the sense that it's not necessarily instantaneous sales, but what it is great for is brand recognition. And brand recognition is really important year round, because if someone's seeing your brand in front of their faces and what you offer year round, and then come that birthday, come that Mother's Day, come that Christmas, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I should get Kay's curries for my mom who loves cooking at home. I saw Kay's stuff on Instagram, or I'm following her now. That's all about brand recognition, and that's all about playing the long game, okay? So that's a great concept to keep in mind when you're creating your ads and you're spending money towards these ads. It's about that long game. It's about brand recognition. Of course, you want to increase sales. Maybe you want to promote a new release of a product, of a scent, of a style, of, you know, a summer line, something like that. You can showcase unique value propositions about your brand. So maybe it's not only about selling a product. I really don't like the full-on only product pushing aspect of marketing. I think it should be more of a unique story about why you're making this product, you know, what's special about it, what is its unique value, and you can showcase it using ads. It could be a video ad, maybe it's a little behind the scenes clip. It doesn't have to be product focused, keep that in mind. It could be about your story. You can use ads to create urgency. So maybe it's a certain time of year, maybe it's December 16th and you only have 2 more days to place an order to get it in time for Christmas. Build an ad for that. Maybe you're doing a week-long promotion to promote, I don't know, World Beach Day, and Heather launched a special ocean beach bracelet that gives back to clean water. I don't know, I'm making it up, but I think that's a great idea, actually. She can put ads together specifically around this promo. Event RSVPs, email subscribers. I love paid advertising for email subscribers. Email is one of the #1 conversion methods. And if you can use paid advertising to build your email subscriber list, it's only a win-win for brand recognition and to get it directly into people's inboxes. And of course, follower increase, just again, continually reminding people of who you are and you're out there and that you have something valuable to say. And I agree, Heather should definitely use that idea about donating to clean ocean water with a bracelet. Okay. Don't try to be everything to everyone. I say this a lot, I think, in the workshops that I do. You're never going to please everyone. You don't want to try to. You really want to define your user audience. So one of the, true things that you should do is keep true to yourself. Keep genuine. Don't look at everyone else's ads. Don't look at everyone else's Instagrams and try to copy them or become who they are. Really stick with you and your unique messaging. When you're trying to define your unique audience, you really want to think about a couple things, like what activities and hobbies does your audience enjoy? Do they like gardening? Do they like home decor? Do they like boho chic? Do they like beer fests? Do they like natural healing? All these different activities, interests, and hobbies influence how you're going to build your ads and who you want to have eyes on your ads. How old are they? If your brand is for 18 to 40-year-olds, you don't want to waste your money focusing on 65-year-olds. You want to really make sure that that age range is defined. And not to say it can't be tweaked as you learn insights about who's actually interested in your ads, but to start, keep it really defined. Think about what other brands your target audience might like. So, for example, if you're a bath and body producer, what other natural bath and body products do you think your audience would be looking at? Would they looking at like L'Occitane or, I don't know, I would think they wouldn't be looking at Bath and Body Works or anything like that, but like natural higher level products could they also be looking at, because those will matter to your audience. Therefore, you want to target like audiences to those brands. Where do they live? So I'm not going to advertise cowboy boots to New York City. I mean, maybe I would, because I guess it's a little trendy, but you know what I mean. You're not going to solicit sunblock for someone that lives in Alaska. You know what I mean? You really want to think about the location that someone is living in to really highly target your audience. Do not target the entire United States. If you have $100 a month and you're trying to use that $100 to just say you're just like every woman in the United States 18 to 40 years old who enjoys live music and handmade jewelry, oh my God, you're not going to get anywhere. Start small, start focused, start where you are from. So we're going to look at a couple examples in a few minutes about that. About how we can target these locations down, but by really targeting geo, you're really going to get more bang for your buck. What time of year is it? Consider if you are a knitter of winter hats, it might be a little bit difficult for you to get traction in the summer, particularly on a day like this. So take those kind of things into consideration. You might have to tweak your ad techniques to more interest pieces, more talking about maybe behind the scenes, how knitting works, like your specialties, versus saying, buy this hat, it's 100 degrees outside. So consider the time of year. In addition to that, consider what holidays there might be going on. Is it Mother's Day? Do we need to create special language revolving around Mother's Day? Why this is a perfect gift for mom? And what other selling opportunities are approaching? Like when Boston Calling came into town in May or whenever it was in June, I remember seeing like tons of ads about like Boston Calling Day or Boston Calling promos or whatever. Think about what's going on locally and within your neighborhood and how you can utilize it for your benefit. I think we might have, okay, nope, just a comment from Heather, me too. If you're for everyone, you're for no one. Does anyone have any questions at this point or kind of want to share a personal experience at all?
Yeah, so quick one, Cara. What I've been hearing lately is, and I don't know if, it's my personal experience as well, but people prefer organic content, like the moment they see like it's an ad, because now it has to be explicit, right? They kind of tune away from it. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I can totally agree with that, specifically if you're actually, I'll show you a couple of examples later on in the presentation of ads that I think you should totally stay away from.
Yeah.
I was actually just talking to, I don't know if you guys know this, we recently, a woman named May recently joined the Boston Women's Market team as our social media kind of guru. And she was telling me that her ad performance for customers that she's working with, any kind of text overlay on ads, any call to action, anything that has like too much funky design on an image is performing way lower than just a beautiful image or just a unique video. So that to me falls into the category of being too addy, too spammy, too like say sell kind of mentality. You do want to create more off the cuff, organic, natural. And we say organic, we're just saying natural, not necessarily perfectly tuned, refined, kind of content. That's what people definitely gravitate towards for sure. Does anyone else have any comments or thoughts about this? Okay, let's keep going. Okay. So now we're getting creative. Now that we've learned about defining our audience, a couple things that we need to do beforehand, we can start learning about the different types of ads you can create on Instagram and on Facebook. There's the straightforward image ad. These are just one static image. So you might see a beautiful photo of a candle. These are high quality, engaging visuals. They drive you to a certain destination, whether it's a specific website page that goes directly to that candle on your website, or maybe it goes directly to your Etsy shop. And you use the photo and the text within the description of the ad to drive people to do something really specific. Like you want people to come to your event. You want people to come sniff this candle or buy it for their mother. So really direct messaging when it comes to ad images. Video ads. So this is something that is being used more and more and more. It's being encouraged to use more and more and more because it gets high activity and clicks. People love watching video content, and it's really a way to show off your unique selling properties of your product. So it could be as simple as me holding this wine glass I made in my hand and showing the beauty of it and swirling wine around it. It doesn't have to be anything necessarily like professionally made, right? It's all about, like we were talking about, what Kalpana was asking about, that organic content. So really engaging people with that content. The third type is carousel ads. So that can be either a mixture of static images or videos. And it's when you're scrolling through a long sequence of photos. Maybe it's a product catalog, it's very catalog-y. I know like Amazon I'm getting served tons of those types of ads, like about product catalogs. And they're really effective because it's like, you're kind of addicted to scroll through it. You like want to interact with it. And once you interact with it, they know you've interacted with it. So they're going to keep serving you those types of ads. So it's great for featuring like collections. Actually, we'll get to the collections ad, but it's great for featuring different products, product lines, that sorts of things. And you can do like a bunch, was it 10 images? Yeah, 10 images and videos. So it could be very engaging. And then the collections ad is specifically for your Facebook shop. So when we were looking at that 1 through 6, 1 through 7 must-do list, adding your Facebook shop to your business manager was one of the steps that I did want you to do. And that's in relation to creating collection ads. What collections ads do is they link back right to your Facebook shop and the products that you've listed within your Facebook shop. So that's just continually encouraging people to shop, go to your website and complete that purchase. And they kind of look similar to catalog ads that are, carousel ads. You kind of click and scroll through them. You can see various products. Does anyone, going back to these ad types, has anyone used any specific type of ad like this? And which one do you usually use, or which ad types or creative formats have you tried to use in the past, if anyone wants to share?
I've used the image ads. I don't think I've tried the video ad as of yet, but I know I did multiple image ads before.
Yeah. Okay, great. Anyone else want to share what type of ad they've created in the past? No problem. Keep on going. I think I've tried all of them.
I just tried a video. I think we tried videos, animated, not animated, but like on Canva, we created them.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Yeah, I do that all the time too, using Canva. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is one of the most confusing things to first-time users when you are setting up your Facebook ad, creating and organizing your ad. So what I wanted to do is just go through a little bit of the ad structure. So say you found your objective and you want to create a carousel ad with like 4 or 5 images. Okay, you're ready to go and create that ad. And you go into the Facebook ad builder and it's like, okay, create a campaign. Okay, now create an ad set. And okay, now create an ad. Well, what is the difference between these things? Aren't they all just the same thing? Well, they're not, but to the new user, it can be really confusing, particularly the way they lay it out. I might actually even just bring up for our sake a little example from our personal ad builder so you can see if you haven't seen it. So we're going to go into the definition of these. So the big overarch is your campaign, okay? And think of this as your umbrella. The ad set and the ad live under your campaign. And under it lives a series of ads and ad sets that are aimed to accomplish a single objective. So maybe that one single objective of this campaign is brand awareness, to build brand awareness. And you can have various ad sets and various ads living under that umbrella. All can have different messages, all can have different images and formats, but their one objective is to build brand awareness. And you set these campaign objectives first and foremost, so Facebook knows how to serve your ad and knows what kind of audience they should be targeting. People that are most likely to interact with your brand based on your campaign objective. So we have that campaign objective. Under that, we have groups of ads called ad sets. So next we have ad sets that say, okay, under this campaign, I have this set of ads, and this is how I want them to run, when I want them to run, where I want them to run. And within that ad set, all those settings you set, like even like how much money you want to spend, what time of day your ads are running. Maybe you don't want to run these ads under this ad set from midnight to 5 a.m. You don't want to run them. You don't want to spend money. You can program your ad set to say that. So it's kind of your settings panel in a way. And then under that, so you have your campaign, under that lives your ad sets. And then under that can live multiple ads under one ad set. So that is where your media and creative elements come in. That's where you're building a carousel ad. That's where you're building a video ad. Okay, so it's like a 3-tiered hierarchy approach. We're going to look at a diagram that will help outline this even more. Okay, so our campaign level 1, I'm using Boss Women's Market as an example. So campaign is, I'm calling it the Boss Women's Market online shop. Our objective is conversions. And when I mean conversions, I'm talking about sales. But conversions can mean multiple things to people. Maybe your definition of conversion is someone clicking a button. Maybe your definition of a conversion is someone RSVPing to an event you're holding. So conversion can mean multiple things depending on what your definition is. But for this exercise, we're gonna just say it's for sales. So that's my campaign. That's my overall objective. Under it, I have created 2 different ad sets. I've created ad set A and ad set B. And the first ad set is 2022 summer products. And the second is meet the makers. So one, I'm doing 2 different approaches to publicize my Boss Women's Market online shop. One is more purely summer product focused, while the other is more about storytelling. It's about showcasing the makers behind the products as a human interest piece. So then under each ad set, it breaks it down into ads. So for this example, I am going to create 2 different types of ads to promote summer products. One is all going to be about summer smells. It's going to be about summer candles, summer body lotion, summer scratch and sniff stickers. I don't know. And then the second ad is going to be promoting my summer 15% off sale in July. So ads are where those creative elements come in with the images or the videos and the copy. So we have these unique subsets. And then under set B, meet the makers, we have Kay's Curries, meet the maker profile. And then we have meet Soy Much Brighter founder profile. So all of these ads can be running all at the same time, but they can be specifically targeted and set certain ways depending on what you told the ad set to do. So while they all have the same objective, they can be doing different things because you have ad set A and ad set B. Does that make sense to people? I know that's kind of heavy loading kind of little thing. Anyone? I'm going to take everyone's silence as a, okay, Cara. But we're going to get into another example in a few minutes, okay?
So sorry, I stepped away for a second. What was the question?
Okay. Okay. So let's move on to some more examples. We're going to do a little show and tell. And this is where I pulled Kay's Curries and Mermaids for examples, because I saw you guys were RSVP'd. I was hoping that you would attend today. So we're going to go through some examples that I just totally made up, but maybe you can actually use them and to your benefit of Facebook ads. So we're going to dive into Mermaids and Madelines. And Heather, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself a little bit or a little bit about your brand. And just as like a little asterisk, I don't know anything about Heather's brand or her target audience. I've never seen the data. This is just from me being a consumer and just kind of guessing what I think her target audiences are going to enjoy in their interests. So, but Heather will know best. But Heather creates ocean-inspired jewelry. She uses semi-precious stones and freshwater pearls and real shells and bright, beautiful colors to create her jewelry. I don't know, Heather, if you want to add anything else to that.
No, I think you really nailed it. That's basic.
Okay, good.
It's all summary.
Okay. So this is Heather's time. This time of year is Heather's time to shine. Okay.
It's my holiday season right now.
It is Heather's holiday season right now. Okay. So our ad goal for this exercise is drive users to the new summer collection of jewelry for purchase. So in this scenario, that is our goal. That is our campaign goal right there. That's our objective, okay? We're going to drive new customers to the summer collection. So therefore, our ad type is going to be the collections ad type, which we want to link to our Facebook shop. That theoretically, for this exercise, we have our Facebook shop set up. Let's just say we do. And her audience, we're really going to define her audience when we're setting up our ad. We're going to say that the sex of the audience is going to be all women. I'm going to say her age is 18 to 60. And here's really where I want you to really focus is the location and hobbies and interests when you build your ads, okay? I really want you to spend your money wisely, and I really want you to be really specific about your ads. So about your location. So what I did here was really focus on mileage from major ocean metros in New England. I am not going to target Heather's jewelry for Chicago, Illinois. I'm not going to target it for Kansas City. It would just not make sense. One, she's not located in any of those regions. She's not from any of them. It's going to be really hard to get people to resonate necessarily with her jewelry line. But if she focuses in on ocean towns, Boston, Cape Cod, and other things outside of Massachusetts, like Newport, Rhode Island, Kennebunkport, Maine, Portland, Maine, like all these places that would resonate really well with her customer base about this ocean beach vibe, she could get better performance. Therefore, her ads can get smarter. And from there, she can branch out in location a little bit. But this is a really great place to start. And then really think about the hobbies and interests of someone that would be interested in buying her jewelry. Obviously, they love the beach, they love summer, they love online shopping, handmade, you know, they have an interest in Etsy in general, maybe. They love outdoor sports, they love seafood, they love artwork, gardening, boho chic kind of stuff. They love living in New England. They love live music and maybe music festivals or, you know, that sort of thing. Heather, do you have any other kind of hobbies or interests you think like you can share from your experience that your audience would enjoy?
I kind of have been doubling down recently on like millennial kind of interests.
Mhm.
So like the resurgence of Backstreet Boys, as stupid as it sounds. But like I found like a lot of people have, you know, been like, oh, me too, and things like that when I like bring back things from like our 2000s Y2K fashion and like low rise coming back and oh my gosh, don't do that. Stuff like that has really been like kind of quirky, but it's
Oh,
attracted people. And like the addiction to iced coffee, like as
yeah.
millennial, that seems to resonate as well.
Pumpkin spice lattes.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm like, oh, gross, but
I know, me too. Okay, so those are all kind of things you're thinking about when you're thinking about who your customer is, and like,
yeah,
that's
bring
where,
in boy bands.
yeah, and like that's one of the reasons why going to markets and selling at markets is actually so important, because you get to have these conversations with your real life customers that you're gonna never have online with them. Like, sure, you can trade a couple like funny chat, you know, comments back and forth, or like on Instagram posts or whatever, but you're like, you know, besides markets being a great place to actually sell your goods, you're actually going to learn so much about your customer. So that's a great takeaway from that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, hold on a second, I'm skipping ahead. Okay, so in general, that's how you're going to go for, before you even create copy, before you even, you know, create those images, this is the exercise you want to bring yourself through. And if you have all this information kind of already written down, and it could just like literally be scribbled on a piece of paper, like you can just bring up your notes, you know, program on your computer and just type like a couple notes about who you are. And you can save this for future use. Once you nail it down, it could be fine tweaked a little bit as you go, as you learn and look at that data that you collect. But it's really going to be your solid foundation for your ads once you get it locked and loaded. So the next one we're going to dive into is Kay's Curries. Kay, you can definitely tell us a little bit about yourself, but you've created easy at-home meal kits based on your Indian food heritage and introducing people to beautiful flavors and spices within their homes. So I don't know if you want to tell a little bit more about your business or kind of what you're doing.
That's a great pitch for me. Thank you. We
Yeah.
make ready to cook kits for Indian food. Just add water and cook for 15 to 20 minutes.
I mean, that's awesome. I really
It'd be
want to
great on a day like this, no cooking, you know, no. Yeah, yes,
Exactly.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to go through the same exercise here, but with a little bit of a different objective. Okay. So our ad goal, or our campaign goal really, is going to be to educate customers about Kay's unique blends of spices so they become a household staple in everyday cooking. So that is our objective, to more like, rather than sell, be like, buy this meal kit. We're going to educate our customers about why Kay is so great. There are a couple ways we can do this, but one of the great ways to do this would be through a video ad. And I've decided in this video ad, we are going to do a quick highlight on a 30-minute dinner. And Kay, you said it was even 20 minutes. 20-minute dinner they can cook at home. And maybe we can bring them through a little video clip about how easy it is to create a Kay's curry meal at home. And within that video, we can spotlight all the unique flavors, ingredients, scents, colors of the meal prep kit. So that's another way that we're also building credibility, and we're building, like, food is a very emotional thing. We use food for everything, right? For celebrations, for mourning, for boredom, for like everything. So video is a great way to emotionally connect with your audience, particularly when it comes to food.
Well, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. We just shot a bunch of videos this Monday, so hopefully in August we'll get there. But
Oh, that's so great to hear.
yeah, I love the idea. Like, so maybe when we publish them, we use one of them for an ad and see how it.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. I would love to hear how that goes.
Yes.
So again, I don't know anything about Kay's audience. I have not looked at any of her data, but I'm just going to take a shot in the dark here. Kay, I would say that, you know, we're going to focus your ad on men and women alike, but maybe a little bit more towards women. You can really specify age ranges when it comes to sex. So you could say age range of women is this, age range of men is this. But men love cooking just as much as women. And for location, I wanted to keep it local because it's a local brand and we have a limited amount of funds per month. But I wanted to focus more on metro areas of Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island, that might be more interested in curries and Indian food, that maybe have more interest in these kind of spices, or have experimented on their own in their own home kitchen with Indian food, and they would be really interested in something like Kay's curry. So we're looking at areas around Boston, Worcester, Portland, Maine, Nashua, looking at these bigger metro areas that have a wider range of people in them. Like, I wouldn't necessarily market Kay's curries to a really small town in Western Massachusetts. That just wouldn't be a good bang for your buck. You want to focus more on these metro areas within the metro east of Massachusetts and New England. And then hobbies. So some hobbies of Kay's audience could be obviously cooking, obviously recipes, foodie, wine, food shows, farmers markets, Indian food, Indian cooking, vegan, vegetarian, paleo. These are just some of the things that people might be interested in when they're looking for similar things to Kay's curries. And Kay, I don't know if you want to share a little bit about that in general.
Yeah. Let me add. Yeah, thank you. This is very good. So what I found with the age and gender is initially, you know, I've done a few ads, like I said early on. I found it was mostly hitting women.
Yep.
Not as much men. And then the age I found it was closer. It was more, I think, 30 something to like 50 something, 55. Okay. But I'm not quite sure, maybe like the 55 to 75 are not very engaged in Instagram. That could be one other thing, we don't know. I actually have a question around the location. Is there a reason we are focusing on kind of New England area? Like, for example, I think what I've done, if I remember correctly, is, let's say I chose Boston, then I also chose like, oh, it could be good in like New York. And then some states such as like Vermont, where based on my experience, it seemed like there's more like vegetarian, vegan type of folks. What if like we did like completely different areas? For example, Portland, Oregon, I think like a hippie town like that would be great. I'm curious to know if that's even just selecting two broader states and cities is just not gonna help us. I'm not sure what the data is.
And Kalpana, you bring up a point where it goes back to where I don't know your brand, I don't know your audience. So you knowing your audience, particularly about people's eating habits, about vegan and vegetarian, and like, you know, maybe Oregon, Portland, Oregon would be more interested because they have more of a food culture like that there. 100%. If you have a lot of, you see a lot of similarities. I hate the word synergy, but I'm going to use it here, towards certain regions, and you think your brand is going to perform really good in certain regions, 100% try it and test it. I am definitely not by any means saying that you shouldn't and that you should just stick to these areas. You know your brand the most, you know your brand well. You just need to factor in your budget. So if you have a limited budget, don't spread yourself too thin or the picture's going to get real blurry real quick, right? So just consider that when you're looking at what locations to choose and really try to focus.
Gotcha.
Like Burlington, Vermont might be a great place, for example, because they're like hippies, right?
It's not Arlington, Vermont.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean, you're the one that has the pulse on it. You're the expert on your product. So all of that is something whenever you work with an ad person, you would want to educate any type of ad person about that, because you are the expert on your audience and on your genre of food.
Yeah, the reason I bring it up is I'm not sure how the algorithm works. If you pick random 3 or 4 places across the country, as opposed to like the areas that you picked were in kind of like a close-knit,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how it works.
Yeah, from my knowledge, it's not really going to have any effect if you have like, one region over here, one region over here, and one region over here. I don't think, I could be wrong. I could do a little research on that, but really it's about where you want to spend your money. And there's nothing wrong with running an ad for 2 months in a certain location. And if it works, awesome. If it doesn't work, pull it and move on. That's why I'm stressing you start early. That's why I'm stressing you start slow and you work your way up. Because one thing you might have in your brain that this is the way to go. Like, I know this is going to work, or this is the best route.
Right.
You might find it's not.
Yes.
Just pivot. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So after we've run some ads, what I really need to do is do exactly what Kalpana and I were just talking about, is learn and review. Your ads should never stay the same for like more than 3 weeks a month. Your ad should constantly be learning and being tweaked. Okay. But at the same time, your campaigns and your ad sets, they need time to learn. You'll actually see within your business manager, when you're in the ad section, when you first create an ad, in the column that says delivery, it might just actually even say learning. And there's no data there because for a 14-day period, your ad is trying to gather enough data about customer interaction or user interaction to actually serve properly and give you insights back about it. So you really want to kind of let your campaigns and your ad sets work for a little bit, give them a month before you start tweaking things and learning and adjusting. The other thing you can do is start comparing page views, start comparing page actions. So under one ad set, remember we had the ad set of summer products. Maybe you have 2 different versions of an ad. One features a lilac candle and one features a rose blossom candle. Maybe one of these candle ads outperforms the other like crazy. They get way more page action on them. That's a learning to you that people really like rose scented things more than they like lilac scented things. I mean, it could be as simple as that. And that way, you know how to build your ad in the future. So it really is a slow process. And if you do it right, it really could be a really good learning experience about your audience and about your brand. Okay. We're already at 7:04. I try not to go too far over that 1 hour mark because I know people have to go eat dinner and have lives and want to relax. So there are a couple essential tools I want you guys to discover. And I am going to send these out in the email, but I'm also going to put these in the chat. So one essential tool I want you guys to know is a Facebook ad library. I love the Facebook ad library because you can totally creep on other brands. So here are a couple snapshots of different brands that I creeped on, and I wanted to see what they were doing with their ads. So for example, here's Polka Dog Bakery, which is a local Boston-based pet store. And I looked up their Facebook account and I could see a library of all the ads they currently have running. Same with this jewelry, Alex and Ani. I think they're Rhode Island based. I wanted to see all the summer type ads that Alex and Ani are running. I looked up a child brand, same thing. This example of the summer lucky bags are here. This is with all this text layover. This is an example of an ad that I actually wouldn't create or serve because they have poorer performance over just images. That's what I was referring to earlier. The less text overlay you can possibly do in an ad, the better. They don't perform as well. They get downgraded a little bit than just straight up videos or just straight up images. So we're going to go into the ads library real quick. Can everyone see this new page that I have going? If you can't, holler at me.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It says Meta at the
ad
top.
library. Yeah. This is the Facebook ad library. So all you have to do is search ads, and I'll say, give me all the ads in the United States. And you just make sure you have all ads. Don't worry about these down here.
You can search ours.
What was that?
I said you can search our company.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to search yours? Okay.
Yeah, see if it shows up. Yeah. It's been a while, but there's no, yeah, there you go.
So we have Kay's Curry's right here. So let's see if anything shows up. Nope, no results. Do you have anything going right now?
Yeah, not currently. I thought they also show the past.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I don't know what the difference is.
Interesting. Okay.
But you can, but it's such a good tool because you can snoop on the competitors or snoop on other brands you admire. Maybe it's not even like in the food industry. Maybe it's in like, you know, the kitchen tools industry, but you really like how they're presenting information, you know, you admire them. You can look them up. But let's find someone. Okay, so let's like use Alex and Ani because I used them earlier. So I can see all the active ads in July of 2022 that they're currently running. I can see their images, their videos, their messaging, types of ads. So whenever, you know, if you're stuck, if you're looking for inspiration, if you want to see what your competition is doing, the ads library is such a good tool. Let's look at, I don't know, who else do I have in here? So Polka Dog, same thing. They have some great little videos going on right now about your dog being crazy for cod sticks. Very cute. So for example, see here, it says launch in July 2018. It shows this ad. I don't know why it doesn't show it for all businesses. I don't really have an answer for you. So go in here. Sometimes you search a brand and nothing comes up. They might not be running ads or there might be something different. I don't know. One tip I will use if you have an ad blocker, like I use just the ad block app for Chrome, you have to turn it off. It won't serve you the right proper results for these ads if you have your ad blocker on, okay? But amazing tool. I'm going to put that link in the chat and I will also put it in. So I went ahead and put that in the chat. I'll also put it in the email. Ads Mockup Builder. Does anyone have heard or used the Ads Mockup Builder? I like for the longest time didn't know this thing existed and it makes creating ads so much easier. Oh my God. So the Ads Mockup Builder is in your Facebook Business Manager. You can mock up draft ads and you can see exactly how they're going to look. You don't need to use your imagination. They'll display all the different types of formats your ad will go into, whether it's on Facebook and it's on a sidebar, it's on Facebook in the feed, or it's on Instagram and stories. And you can really customize the ad look and feel based off of that. So we're going to go into, this is an example of Boston Women's Market mock-up. You can see a bunch of different types of ads here. One thing I will point out is make sure you're always building ads under your business account. You can see here, I have a Cara Loffredo account. I don't want to build my business ads under my Cara Loffredo personal account. I always want to make sure that I'm under my business account. Okay. So data is properly streaming and doing all that stuff. And all you have to do is say, create mockup. I created a fake mockup here and I call it Summer Sense Ad 2022. And all I need to do is go down this list and fill things out. So I say, okay, I want this to be on my Facebook page and Boston Women's Market Instagram page. And format, well, I want to use a single image or video, or I could choose carousel right here. I can go back and forth. And then what it does is it automatically, so what I did was I uploaded my image here, and it automatically plopped my Love and Lavender candle image into all these ad formats that I can preview. So I can see immediately, okay, what does it look like in a Facebook right-hand column? I can see the preview of that. Come on, let me do the thingy. Okay, maybe it's not gonna let me see the preview of that. I don't know why. Oh, maybe it'll do it over here. Okay, so we have different previews just right over here. So Facebook right-hand column, this is what my ad's gonna look like. So what I would recommend doing too, as you get more comfortable, is in these different placements, some of them are video. So for example, Facebook in-stream videos. I don't want this static candle image there. I want a video there. So what I can do is I can change this image for this specific ad type. And I can upload a video. I say, I want this video that I made in Canva and save it. So now while all the other ad types are just static images of Love and Lavender, this video format has a video in it, so it's more engaging and interactive. So I can go through all these different formats and say, okay, well, that's a video. I need to upload the video there. And let's see, are there any other videos here? Like Facebook story could be a video, because you can upload videos there. So I can go through all these media placements for my ad and specify special images, special videos. They don't need to be all the same one image, and they shouldn't be, because you have different formats, right? Then from here, I can specify my text. So this is primary text goes up here. Open the window and strike a match. Our new summer scents have arrived in shop for a limited time. From there, I can write headline. I can write new summer candles. And I'll be able to see how it's populating. So now it says new summer candles down here. I could say where I want it linked to. I can specify exactly what page on my website I want to link to, and I can specify if I want a shop now button, a sign up, a subscribe, a watch now. For this, I'm doing shop now because I want people to shop the candles. So it's this great way of taking any guesswork out of the situation of creating an ad. Another reason why I like this is because when it comes to text, when it comes to this primary text, you really want to keep it short and concise, okay? We recommend 125 characters. Let's see what happens when I kind of go over that, right? Say if I had a long ass narrative, it becomes see more. You never want to make a person click see more in an ad. They're just going to lose interest. You don't have a minute. You don't have 30 seconds of a person's attention. You have only like a second or two. They need to be able to read the text of your ad in a blink of an eye. So keep it short. Make sure that see more doesn't pop up anywhere. Keep extra spaces out of the situation. So that's another reason why this mock-up builder is really great, because you can really fine tune your language until it's right. Does anyone have any questions on this? I know this is like a thing that you really need to like just get into yourself and play around with, and then you'll realize how easy and powerful it is. But it's a great, great tool if anyone hasn't used it yet. Does anyone have any questions about the mock-up builder specifically?
No, I just have to play with it.
Yeah,
Like,
you just have to play with it.
It was there.
Just play with it. Yeah, it's super cool. You can do, even in this edit thing, you can do so many more things. You can crop the image, you can add text overlays, you can like do crazy stuff.
Would you suggest, I'm on my phone a lot, but would you suggest doing it more on a PC versus doing it on a phone?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I would recommend just you just have a way better visual. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we are way over time, so I'm gonna try to go a little faster. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this in the chat also, just a link to the ad builder. Actually, I can't, let's see. ad builder. And then the last thing I want you guys to do is just take a look at the Meta Blueprint. It's like Facebook's university for all things advertising. It's a great website portal, so many easy how-tos, real step-by-step kind of instructions. So I'm going to put that link in here too. It's just like a great resource to bookmark for yourself, because it has so many topics, so many videos about things. So I'm going to go ahead and bookmark that too.
Are you going to send these links in the email as
Yeah.
well? Because I'm on my iPad and I am not Apple friendly. I'm such a Samsung Android girl.
Totally. Yeah, totally. I'm going to
Okay.
send these in the email.
Okay.
Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow morning.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that is the bulk of the information for tonight. Like I always say in every single presentation, we could talk about this topic for hours and hours and hours. And I would love to talk about this topic more like on the next level, maybe in another workshop in a month or two to get even more in depth about building ads and really defining audiences. But for now, this is the foundation I wanted to provide you guys. So I don't know if anyone had any questions or you wanted to just share, you know, a little bit about what your future strategy is for the rest of the summer, or what you're thinking your next steps are going to be, if anyone wanted to share. I can tell you that for Boston Women's Market, one of the things that we're going to start doing is we're going to start running subscriber ads. This will allow people to easily sign up for our newsletter, because as we approach the end of the summer, we really want to get new email subscribers to promote the holidays. So what we do is if you start now and you start building up those email subscriber lists, you are like locked and loaded for the holidays with fresh new eyes and perspectives on all your holiday gifting. So as you roll out that holiday gifting messaging, you have over the past 4 or 5 months built yourself up, built yourself a great new audience. That's one of the perks about starting ads now. And that's one of the reasons why I really stress starting ads now for peak seasons, because you want to acquire all that data. You want to acquire that audience before the holidays, so you're even stronger and well-positioned when you get there and when it really counts. Oh, go ahead.
I was trying to get back to the screen to talk because I couldn't get back fast enough. But just talking for myself, I'm taking this step in this venture to really put myself out there, with a lot of shifts going on with myself personally. And it seems like a really daunting task trying to figure out how to properly market myself. And now I have to kind of put myself, I guess, full steam ahead, because, you know, it's like balancing a full-time job and then doing this, but now I have a lot of space to kind of really go for this, for multiple things, because it's kind of hard trying to market my jewelry, and I'm also a hypnotherapist. I'm like a lot of things. So it's trying to like really figure out one thing and how to market myself. For somebody who's new, especially from the jewelry standpoint, and getting into these markets and putting yourself out there at all these different markets, what is your advice for me to kind of, I guess, a list to focus on? Because there's like so much to focus on, and sometimes I feel like I get overwhelmed, and I just want to be able to, I guess, tackle those fundamental things first, so I can be able to build out as I, you know, continue to do this.
Yeah, and I think that I think we can all relate to that. Even when you're like a few years in, we can all relate to that. I would say, going back to that concept when we were talking about TikTok, do not try to do all the things.
Okay.
Focus on 2 to 3 things that you enjoy most, and start there. Okay. So maybe that is building out your Etsy catalog first, or maybe that is creating, you know, some collateral for your marketing for your table. Maybe it's creating Just putting out an new subscriber list on your market table and having
Okay.
people subscribe for your newsletter.
Okay.
Those simple steps is where I would start. I would start on, maybe posting on Instagram and Facebook twice a week for credibility's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Really focusing on how you can get the most about your in-market experience and take that data home with you. So things like putting an email list out for people to subscribe to you, or taking your business card, and then making sure your information online is accurate and streamlined and visually appealing, I think is a key too. I don't know if anyone else has advice. I mean, it's hard to give that kind of advice when I don't know your business.
Yeah.
But I know that's the kind of thing I would start with.
Yeah, some of those things I already have. I make so much jewelry because it's my like calming type of thing. So
Yeah.
I like the Etsy catalog, like I have over 200 listings.
Oh,
Don't
my
ask me
goodness.
why.
Wow.
I just create and I post. But it's just like those little things like the email type of thing. I'm like, oh, what will I say?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what do I say? I do, there was points where I had a lot of time and I was able to make a lot of videos and post, and I was getting some traction, then work and like certain health issues, I couldn't post as I wanted to, but jumping back into kind of posting and making relevant content is not the hardest thing for me. Is trying to streamline everything at the same time, I guess.
Yeah, I get it. And that's why I think you should not feel like you should be doing all the things all at once. Like no one can do all the things all at once. Like it's just not possible.
Okay.
I think, and I think the answer kind of just like as you move through your list, just do it slowly.
Okay.
And the answers will come to you about what to do next.
Okay.
Start with the things that you enjoy is pretty much my advice.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Does anyone have anything else they want to ask or add? I will just say that, I am here to answer any questions. It's always really hard to diagnose people's specific problems with their business manager and their ads and things like that, because every person's account and business is so unique and different. So I'm happy to answer any other specific questions you guys have, like over email, or I'm happy to hop on another phone call just to help you work through a couple things. If you just want like an ear or a second opinion about something, please feel free to shoot me an email. We also now have marketing services. So if you ever wanted to like really go in depth with Facebook advertising, you could totally contact us about marketing services. But besides that, I am totally here to answer any of your questions. I just really appreciate everyone taking the night tonight to join us and talk about a kind of daunting topic of, that could be ever changing and kind of confusing. So I hope this was really helpful to everyone, or at least a stepping stone in the right direction. Yeah,
it was super helpful. Thank you.
Good. I'm really glad to hear that. I'm gonna, like, as I said, I'll send around the recording, and then these links also I'm gonna resend in the email. Bookmark them, keep them on hand, because I feel like everyone can use those tools at some point. And yeah, if anyone doesn't have any other questions or comments, I guess we'll wrap it up there. And oh wait, when is our next workshop? I think it is, let me look, it's August something. Well, let me look. August 17th. Okay, so if you guys have not been to Paige Burns's webinar she's done, this is gonna be her third one she's done for us, because they're so good. She's a professional videographer. She started her own business about 3 years ago. But she is really good at just making it, like showing small business owners how they can use video without being fancy. Like you can just use your iPhone at home and you can create video content that's engaging right from your home. So that's the kind of thing she's going to be talking about. It is super helpful. Like as a caption says, without any dancing or lip syncing involved. So totally RSVP for this workshop, because it's really great. The example she gives about how you can use video for your business is really great. But with that, I will say farewell to everyone and hope everyone has a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you
Have a
so
good
much.
night.
Bye.
Yeah, bye everyone.
Bye-bye.